Welcome back. My name is Marcus Wolford, and today I'm going to teach you about the pendulum press. I think this is especially timely in today's world where people are spending thousands of dollars on home gyms, which is awesome, but that's a lot of money. So today I want to show you something that will only cost you about $10, which is a pair of basic cam straps. I have one hanging up right now, and here's another one. You can get two for about $10. This is called the pendulum press. I've been doing this for about 4 years, and it's basically the poor man's version of Rogue's lever arm or Soranex's jammer arms. Of course, those can do a lot more stuff, but as you'll see, this is pretty awesome, and it's so inexpensive. You can get started right away. Now, instead of talking for a while, I want to get straight to the exercises. So at the end of this video, I'm going to explain why this is particularly beneficial, especially if you have some shoulder pain or have any aching or limited range of motion overhead, and why you should possibly add this to your workout routine, if anything, just as another variation of pressing movement. All right, let's get started. Okay, now I'm going to explain why I think you should use this movement. If you're in a small gym like mine, which is a tiny corner of a garage, or even if you own a small box gym like a CrossFit gym or a boutique gym, I think this completely applies. It takes up almost no space and it is extremely inexpensive. Especially if you have shoulder mobility issues or some pain, or you're working with an older population, you could have 10 of these things hanging on one giant pull-up bar with 10 separate dumbbells, And everybody could be doing presses simultaneously, and then you just pull it and take it down. So it takes up basically no space because you can take it off immediately and throw it in a corner or in a box. So you already saw in the video, I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to set up, especially with the one-arm dumbbell press. I'm just going to pick up the dumbbell and I'm just going to slide it on. And there it is, it's just hanging. And this is especially nice because it's hanging weightless. So basically, it's very safe, and this is applying no pressure when it's completely under the anchor point. Now this brings me to point number 2. This is an extremely helpful exercise if anybody has limited range of motion or any kind of shoulder pain when they're pressing. Why? When a lot of people have shoulder pain, they oftentimes have shoulder pain completely overhead, which means, hey, maybe we don't press completely overhead. This is where something like a landmine press is really helpful because you're pressing forward, and therefore you eliminate that pain. So here we're pressing forward as well instead of completely overhead. However, a lot of people also get shoulder pain the closer they get to shoulder extension, which is basically behind the body. Your average bench press, except for floor presses, take that elbow either right here or even further because that bar has to touch the chest. Now this is why some people do floor presses because it keeps the elbow from going behind. And some people, the closer that elbow gets to the side of their body, the more the shoulder rolls forward. So this is what's interesting. Because the anchor point is directly overhead, when the weight is under the anchor point, it is completely weightless. Which means when I'm pressing, the closer this bell gets to my body, which is where pain increases for a lot of people, it is getting lighter and lighter. And finally, for some people, this is the most pain. When it's here, it's weightless. Now that's really, really nice. You cannot get that with a landmine press variation. But you get that here because it's completely weightless and it feels extra safe. So you initiate the press, it's very light, and then maximal weight is when you're fully pressed out. Now, of course, you can change this by simply taking a step forward. The further you take the weight from its anchor point, the more it's going to weigh. So if you start it, if the starting position is not underneath, but here, it's gonna feel heavier and it's gonna work a little bit more of your shoulder because I'm pressing in an arc and it's going upwards. Now because it's anchored, this is gonna feel more like a machine in a gym. This is why things like landmine presses are so nice because it feels more controlled. And you don't have to go completely overhead to get a nice press. So I started pendulum pressing about 4 years ago, and I don't see anybody doing this exercise. Maybe it's just too simple and too inexpensive because people like to spend some money. If you have any kind of shoulder pain, especially while bench pressing, or you lack overhead movement, well, I think you should already be doing some landmine presses, but I really think you should try adding the pendulum press to your workout routine because it's basically completely pain-free when you get here because it's weightless, especially if you're standing directly underneath the anchor point. And then you can safely press forward and back while you're standing on your feet. And it takes up almost no room because you can just take down the cam strap and put it in a box somewhere. Let me know if you give this movement a try, and if you found this video helpful and you'd like to see my face again, then you should probably subscribe to my channel. Okay? Have a great day.